at IQ Pool School. Today I'm here to review some of the basic fundamentals of playing pool. Having the proper stroke mechanics, body alignment, and general understanding of the relationship between the balls and the table will be great building blocks in the future of your pool game. So let's get started. Parts of the pool cue are the tip, ferrule, shaft, joint rings, collar, forearm with inlays, the handle wrap, which is Irish linen, nylon, leather, or wood finish, a butt sleeve with inlays, butt and bumper. Approaching the table to make your shot, step to the side of the cue and then step into the shot. Grab your cue and then bend over, bridging onto the table, getting down to perform your shot. One good position would have your rear leg as a straight anchor and bent opposite leg to help you lean over the cue and get down over your shot. Here's another good shot of the foot placement to help you align properly and come down over the cue to perform your shot. Before you begin to shoot your cue ball, it's good to put a nice layer of chalk over your cue tip. A good way to do this is just to rub the cube of chalk over the tip of the cue stick. Just put a nice layer over the tip. You don't need to drill a hole through the chalk cube. When preparing to approach a table and address your shot, it's good to line your cue stick with the cue ball's path needed to perform the shot. Then use your foot placement to step around the cue stick and then bridge down over your cue over the ball to perform your shot. Here is another view of approaching the table. There are a couple different ways you can hold your hand to bridge with the cue stick. This here is an open bridge, which can be performed simply by aligning your thumb with the top knuckle of your index finger and then letting the cue stick lay down over the bridge. You want to keep the cue as level as possible to perform truer shots. Here is how you can lay the open bridge onto the table. Just bring your thumb up to your top knuckle on your index finger and lay the cue over the cross. Your bridge height can be raised and lowered simply by opening and closing your fingers along the side of your palm of your hand. Here we see a closed bridge, which can be performed simply by aligning the knuckle of your thumb with the second knuckle on your middle finger, and then just bring your index finger tip over to your thumb to close the gap. And this will give you a little extra control when you're stroking through. This will help control, when needed, more precise placements. This bridge can be raised as well, bringing up on the tips of your fingers if you need higher English or to shoot over another ball, and can be raised and lowered simply by opening your fingers and closing into the palm. To bridge off of, one good way to position your hand is to lay it flat on the rail and lay your cue stick down alongside of it as level as possible. Then take your index finger and bring it over the top of the cue stick and use your thumb and middle finger as guides to help you maintain a nice straight stroking motion. Make sure you keep your level cue and stroke through your shot. Sometimes if you can't reach your shot, they have a bridge, which is many different varieties of the bridge heads. This one has a few different positions you can put the cue stick in to hold it. So the same idea is applied. You want to find your point you want to hit on your object ball with your cue ball. And then you keep that line and just hit your bridge. Lay your cue inside the bridge. And you want to keep the bridge as level as possible again. Good trick is to take the bridge and just take it and move it off to the side, and it'll kind of pinch on the front head of the shaft and give you a little more control when you're stroking through. Also, you don't really want to be holding on to it or doing any kind of funky stuff to try and stroke through. Best bet is just to take it, lay it down to its side, and just do your routine and stroke through. That's how you do it. Also, if there's another ball in your way, you can turn the bridge over on its side like this, and that'll give you a little extra height to get up over any balls that might be in your way. And you want to just kind of give a nice, level, even stroke through. And just follow through. And that's how you do it. The bridge is a great tool to use when you have a shot you cannot reach comfortably. Many people are uncomfortable using the bridge, simply just they have not learned properly how to use it. The bridge is there for you to use, so you might as well get used to it. You want to lay the bridge on the table, then lay your cue stick in the bridge head. Do your routine and stroke through your shot. Same concept is applied if you need to shoot over a ball that is obstructing your shot You can turn the bridge over on its side, and that'll leave you a position to get over an obstructing ball and give you your opportunity to stroke through and make your shot. When preparing to make a shot, you want to position yourself on the table over the cue with your rear hand loose, not too tight. You don't want to be too tight, it can hold up the cue on impact when you're stroking through. You just want to have a controlled grip on the rear butt of the cue. And keep the cue stick level as possible when you're stroking through. You want to stroke straight through and finish. Your stroking arm should have a 90-degree angle bisecting the floor, with the cue tip as close to the cue ball as possible so you can stroke through and finish. Here you can see how you can adjust your bridge to the height or location on the cue ball. Remember to keep the cue as level as possible when you're stroking through the ball. It'll help send the ball in a straighter direction. Here's a look at a closed bridge while addressing the cue ball. You want to make sure you get your cue tip right up to the cue ball as close as possible and stroke straight through with a level cue. Here are a few bridges I've seen people trying to shoot with. You can't shoot with control with your fingers all over the place. Get a nice controlled bridge so that you can stroke the cue stick straight through it. Good way to start getting used to the feel of a stroke. Just grab the balls, get up over the ball, align yourself over the cue with the shot, and make sure you stay down and stroke through. And you can just move the ball further and further away from your pocket that you're shooting it into. And just try to make sure you stay down and stroke through for your shots. This will really help you get the feel of what a proper stroke will feel like when you're performing it. There are a few different ways to view your shot with eye transitions. When you get over your shot, incorporate how you view the cue ball in relation to the shot line to your object ball. One way is to do your practice stroke while looking at the cue ball to make sure you are stroking to the point on the cue ball you wish to hit. Then, when you are ready to make your shot, move your eye's view from the cue ball to the spot on the object ball you wish to contact with the cue ball, and stroke back and through your cue ball. Another way is to transition during your backstroke, and then another view is to transition at the end of your backstroke as you come through your cue ball with your stroke. This is another way to incorporate into your normal routine whichever way will feel comfortable to you. Apply it towards your routine, and this will again help keep the chatter down in your head when you're on the table. You can use when playing to get yourself used to the feeling with each different speed when shooting. Here is a 1 speed. You can use this for a lag speed drill and use the diamonds as guidelines. Then up at 2 diamond intervals. Here is a 2 speed. Two more diamonds for our 3 speed stroke drill. From there we'll move on to our 4 speed. For your 5 speed stroke drill, bring it down back past the last diamond into the rail and then not back past that diamond again. For a 6 speed, you can continue on 2 more diamonds for a 7 speed and then 2 more diamonds to your starting point for an 8 speed. Used to the feeling of the speeds of the strokes and also help you with shooting straight ball shot drills that will greatly improve your game. Being able to hit center ball is crucial in the process of playing pool, as everything spawns from center ball action on the cue ball. Center ball actions from the cue ball will help you learn the absolute natural lines that come into play. This will help you later on when beginning to use English on the cue ball, as you can use the natural center ball actions as a guideline to follow when planning your next shot, with the diamonds for references as close to the pocket and object ball as you feel comfortable with, and just move the object ball further from the pocket and the cue ball further from the object ball as you move along. You will know you're hitting center ball because you will have a stop shot. If it's a relatively straight angle, the cue ball should stop dead in its tracks, being that it is sliding by the time it hits the object ball, and there is no forward motion or any other English to make the cue ball run away. If there's too much of an angle in play for the shot, the ball will not stay put, but it should hold up in the general location of the contact with the object ball. Planning out your shot, you want to try to visualize the path and the point of impact that the cue ball is going to hit on the object ball. You can use a visual of the cue ball. It's known as using a ghost ball to set up your point of impact. Just try to picture the point of the cue ball is not going to be the center of the cue ball that hits the object ball. So you need to pay attention to how much of the cue ball is going to be contacting how much of the object ball. Really start to get used to using angles with your shots. Shooting center ball with an angle shot, when coming off the rail, the center ball sliding action on the cue ball should bring the cue ball straight back off the rail. If there's any forward motion or backwards motion, you know the cue ball had either draw or follow left on it and was not completely sliding when it initially hit the object ball. Great drill, and will get you used to shooting center ball, as you will have immediate feedback and let you know if you're shooting high, low, left, or right, or anything other than center ball. Your stroke speeds will come into play. It's going to help you learn how to get the cue ball where you want on the table. It's usually better to try and end up somewhere in the center of the table. You don't want to end up over on the rail or behind other balls. Here is a nice way to visualize a ball being shot that is along the side of the rail. And you can do this drill the same way. Just get the ball out at a safe distance that you're comfortable with and move them away from each other and away from the pocket as you move along. You can also move them in closer towards each other and tighten up angles. This will really give you all the different variety of angles and ranges. You use these drills along both sides of the table so that you're shooting at different sides of the table and get your views from your right side and your left side. It'll really help you start incorporating the views with your shots and the feeling in relation to the ball roll. combination. Ball into a pocket. You want to find the object ball that you're planning to make in the pocket and work backwards from there. You'll find the ball guideline that you're going to be combining into the ball you're playing. And you want to pick your spot with the combination ball shooting through your object ball that you plan to make in the pocket. So your combination ball is going to be used to shoot through the ball you're playing into the pocket and get yourself ready for the next ball. I want to thank you for taking the time to watch my video. I hope you found the information to be a wealth of knowledge that you can apply to your own pool game. Practice makes perfect though. You have to put your time in on the pool table. One good way to get better is to play with people who you feel may be better than you at this time. Share this video with your friends, family, and the world. And the next time you get up to play, give it your best shot. Your opponent will be. I'm Mark Rondo at IQ Pool School. You can reach me here and let me know what you think of this video and any other ideas you'd like me to put out in the future. Thank you for stopping by, and let's play pool.